Ever wonder what it takes to live a life creatively? So do we. That's why we're here, to find out what clever people do to succeed in the arts, business, and education. I'm Cecily Korst, and this is the Trailer Talks. We're interviewing artists and educators, musicians, and thought leaders, at home and on the road. So come on, it's going to be a good trip. Hey, welcome to the trailer. Come on in. This week in the trailer, we have Adam J. Ruben. He's a PhD in microbiology, and he's an author. Let's hear his story.
Industrico, America's leading manufacturer of novelty underwear and nuclear warheads, proudly presents Grad School and You! Congratulations! You've made the stupid decision to go to grad school. The real world can wait because you've got years of useless research that needs doing, debt that needs mounting, and sex that needs not having. Also, you can finally get a job in your early 30s. Choosing an advisor is an important decision for every grad student. Advisors come in several standard shapes. There's the deaf optimist.
I've been working on this project for 2 years now, and it's not going anywhere.
Oh, that's great news!
No, I'm positive it's doomed to fail.
So you'll be ready to publish next year. Hey, happy to hear.
The tenured professor.
I have the results of last week's project. I think it's
Actually, I'm going to be going to Atlantic City.
Atlantic City?
Yeah, for science type stuff. Field research, microbiology. You get it. I'll see you at graduation.
I have more discussion.
The professor who wrote the textbook.
You're the best textbook in the whole wide world. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
And of course, the founder.
Back in my day, we didn't have microscopes. We looked at cells through a piece of broken glass from the front of the nearest shoe store. And that's how it was, and we was better for it. Also, we didn't allow minority students, no.
Learn more about the soul-crushing world of grad school at facebook.com/stupid decision to go to grad school.
Describe your journey to this point.
Sort of an all-encompassing question.
All-encompassing question.
I guess I always wanted to be a scientist of some kind, but I also wanted to be an artist of some kind. Not a visual artist, because I can't draw or anything like that, but I always wanted to be a writer, or a comedian or a comedy writer or something like that. I used to read a lot of Dave Barry when I was a kid, and I just would kind of reread the same ones over and over again, studying how he did what he did. And I always wanted to be a scientist, I think. I was really interested in biology and other sciences as well. So in college I wanted to double major, but I couldn't because they don't let you, so I minored in writing but majored in biology. And then I went to grad school for biology, but then did writing and comedy things at night. And now I'm a scientist by day, and at night or on the weekend I do things like this.
I've always liked life.
But I'm here tonight to give you a little excerpt from my new one-man show, Please Don't Beat Me Up.
My whole point was going to be that it doesn't matter what you major in, because I was a molecular biology major, and behold! So,
Now, did you go directly from undergrad to graduate school?
Yes.
Okay, so you didn't take a break in between?
No.
What possessed you to do that?
I don't know. If I had it to do all over again, maybe I would take another year between the two. Mm-hmm. But I think I just kind of thought this is what you do if you're really nerdy. You follow the path that leads you through everything fastest. And so you go right from undergrad to PhD, and then PhD sort of really burned me out a lot.
So, surviving grad school.
Yes.
You wrote a book.
Yes.
We have it.
I believe it's hidden between the cushions. Surprise! That was not planned.
Of course not. No, we don't plan things like that here. It's just magic. It's PhD with an exclamation point.
Yes. I'm very excited about it because it took me 7 years to get it. It's one of those things where there are some grad school programs where you go in and they tell you it's going to be 2 years, it's going to be 4 years. But with a lot of PhDs, they say you graduate when your advisor says, now. And so you spend the whole time not knowing when you're going to graduate and thinking it's going to be 6 months from now for like 2.5 years. And so you can't plan your life after that. I got frustrated toward the end of my graduate career, so I decided to write this book. I saw that there were all these college survival guides, and they're mostly things about how to make a beer bong in your dorm room, things like that. not useful to grad students. So I figured I would make a grad school survival guide. It has no actual advice. I want to caution people about that because I don't want more one-star reviews on Amazon from people who say, there's no real advice in here. I'll tell you now, there's no real advice. But it's a bunch of jokes. It's a humor book about how to survive grad school, how to choose the right advisor, how to sleep upright during seminars, how to steal free food, things like that.
Do you have a favorite part?
Well, I have a favorite drawing, and that's not mine. My friend Darren did the drawings, and I love the one that he did. There's a section on how to write a grant application, and it talks about how you have to write what the significance is of the research you propose. And very often, academics don't actually have significance to the research they propose. They have to make something up. You can say something like, well, we don't know for sure that our badminton-playing robot won't cure cancer. And so I asked Darren to draw a picture of a badminton-playing robot winning the Nobel Prize for Medicine.
Perfect.
And he did. I love that picture.
You finished grad school, and then what?
Then I went right to work. I ended up at a malaria conference once where I saw the CEO of the company where I now work. I saw him give a talk. I thought what he was working on was interesting. And then by sheer coincidence, my current boss, his wife's college roommate was my wife's mother, if that connection makes any sense.
I'll draw a map later.
My in-laws invited us over, and they said, oh hey, my mother-in-law's college roommate and her husband just moved to town. So we met them, and he said he worked at this company, and I said, oh, I just heard your CEO speak, and a little nepotism later, and I have a job.
Awesome. I love it. On the artistic side, what are you doing on that side of your life?
A lot of different things. Actually, one of the most interesting things has been related to the book, that I've been contacting grad schools, and I've been invited all over the place to come and give sort of a performance/reading/signing of the book.
Cool.
So it's been really cool. The last year and a half, 2 years, I've been to schools in more than 20 states, going and talking about grad school to groups of disaffected grad students. And that's been a lot of fun. I've gotten to travel a lot, see places I had never seen before. The reason I'm in LA today is that I'm on a show called Outrageous Acts of Science on the Science Channel.
Cool.
And so we're here to film part of the second season. And that's been a lot of fun too. So the show itself is a show of scientists making fun of the science in internet video clips.
Cool.
So it's kind of like Tosh.0 for science nerds. And you can find these clips themselves on the internet. So I'm sure you can find just a cat jumping high in the air. Oops, that's this season. I shouldn't spoil it. What was last season? What did we do? A man who was wearing a suit of armor and playing metal guitar while lightning bolts from a Tesla coil zap him in the face.
Okay.
That was very cool.
Not something you see every day.
No. So a lot of these videos are viral videos, and we explain the science behind them, how those lightning bolts are not killing him.
That's good. Kids, don't try this at
Yes,
home.
yes.
Oh my gosh. What's the hardest part of your work?
The hardest part of the science is probably the science itself. A lot of science is just data gathering and the day-to-day things, but what makes it interesting is coming up with an idea for something new to do and testing it out. And you, just like you can't guarantee the next gig in comedy, you can't guarantee the next idea in science.
Right.
So it's all kind of, it's not like you've got a skill set and you can just go ahead and use it on autopilot. You worry a lot that nothing's going to come. Where I need inspiration the most often is in my column. I write a column in the journal Science Careers, and it's meant to be a science humor column, and that means once a month I have to think of something funny to say about science careers. And for that, I'm looking for inspiration all the time, because my big fear there is that I have to think of something new every month, and that this month I just won't think of something.
What is success for you in the future?
I'd like to host some sort of science game show.
Oh, wow.
That would be neat. When my book first came out, I made a stupid, arbitrary goal that I will have 5 books by the time I'm 40. That first book came out, I was 31, I'm now 34, and I still just have the one book.
Where does your inspiration come from?
You kind of have to look at everything for inspiration. And there's a lot more downtime in life than you think that you can spend thinking about those things that have inspired you. I mean, that's why I haven't left my career for another career, because there is time. There is a way to do both. You could call it selective negligence. Hopefully not. You can make everything more fun than it's meant to be. I have a very weird job where I'm a fake rabbi at bar mitzvahs and weddings. It's actually this someone in Los Angeles runs a franchise of fake rabbis, the Amazing Bottle Dancers. If you go to
Oh my gosh, that's hysterical.
You should interview him, actually. His name is Michael Pasternak, and he got this idea to have a fake rabbi come into people's events, so with beard, black hat, black robe, and make fun of their relatives. And then 3 more rabbis come in with wine bottles on their heads, and they dance, balancing the bottles on their hats, and you lead the whole group in a dance, and it's very, very strange. And I've done it for 8 years now.
What advice do you have to other people who are trying to pursue a creative life?
There are no real certainties in life, but one thing that you know for sure is that you will only ever have less time in life, not more time. So use that time. Use the time that you have. And if you realize that you wasted a lot of time, curse yourself for that. Say, that was irresponsible. I need to not do that anymore. If you're thinking about 2 careers, see if there's a way you can fit them both in, because you're not going to get a second life where you get to try the other career.
That was a peek inside of Adam Ruben's life and journey. You can find out more about Adam on Facebook, YouTube, at the Steins channel, or at Crown Publishing Group's YouTube channel. While you're out surfing, check out thetrailertalks.com. That's our home on the web.
I'm Cecily Korst. Join us for the next road trip.
I'll bet you probably got into science for the same reason that I did, and that is that we were all lied to. In 3rd grade, that asshole in the lab coat who comes and has an assembly in your elementary school, remember, he's got the thing of liquid nitrogen, and he dips in the rubber ball and he throws it against the wall, and you're like, holy shit, science is awesome! It's not awesome. My entire life during the day is moving small amounts of liquid from one place to another. That's it.